Okay. Welcome. Wow. All right. So let me first deal with getting centered on the screen here. Maybe I'll change it. Hold on. Welcome. My name is Rich Sheffrin. And all right. Let's see here. I think maybe this might be better. Yeah, that's going to be better. And let me just now figure out where I need to move on this to make the most sense. Oh, crap. I have to be all the way over here. That's not going to work, is it? All right, maybe this one. Let's see. This would be better if I could just, is that this one? Yeah, that's that one. Sorry, guys. Just bear with me 1 second. Just trying to figure out how to make this better. There we go. All right, so that's pretty good. And since I will probably be most of the time, let's see, can I get this to go live now? Connect streaming software to go live. I did. And link. No, hold on. All right, I thought I did the stream key. And there is the stream key, so hold on. You are live, it says, but it's not saying I'm live here. Go live. All right, yes, allow. There we go. All right. So welcome. Oh, wow. I've got a few of you there. Hi, Oscar Tang. And hey, Etienne. I haven't looked at your thing yet, Etienne, but I have it in my documents. I promise I'm going to read it probably this weekend. And hey, Sassy. And yes, Priya, this is live. And wow, so pretty cool. I don't think I'm live on Instagram, though. If I am live on Instagram, can someone let me know? And let me know if I am live. I think I am, but I can't tell for sure. I know that I am on, yeah, I don't see this here. Copy to, I already did this though. All right, so I assume, I don't think I'm live though, because, yeah, oh well. All right, I guess I'll have to wait until tomorrow. Maybe I'll do that more tomorrow, I guess. So I'm here because what I want to do, and it starts today, right, is every weekday, noon Eastern, 30 minutes. And the whole format that I want to be doing here is one person, one real problem in their actual business. And then share it with me, right? And we build the fix right here while you watch. No slides, no pitch. If it breaks, you're going to see it break. You're going to see me work without a net. And honestly, that sometimes can be where the most value kind of sits, because most people don't show you that part, right? They edit that out of the equation. And that's where a lot of the best learning can actually happen. And there's only one way to get your problem, like to get me to build specifically the solution to your problem. And that is read the manifesto. And so that you tell me, like, in regards to what I share in the manifesto, what still stands in your way. And when there's something that stands in your way after you've read the manifesto, you followed my directions in there, or you're having a challenge following those directions, I want to be here to help you. So I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this. I have committed to myself to do this for at least 30 days. So for the next 30 days, in my effort to really kind of help keep awareness or start awareness and then get some momentum with it, that the with the report I wrote, that's what I want to do. So that's my whole point. My whole point is that to be here to help you kind of move forward with AI the way I know that you can move forward with AI. And behind me is just a picture, so I don't know why that would be so distracting. Yeah, it's just my background. Sorry, whoever, Sean. So anyway, so that's the core of it, right? So I don't know if any of you if you've read the manifesto yet or not. Here is a link to go read it. It's totally free. There's no opt-in. You don't have to give me an opt-in. There's nothing, right? You just need to read it and learn the message. And if you get value from it, which I guarantee that you'll get value from it, then please share it with other people so that they can get value from it. That's really like my big ultimate objective is to get this out there in as many hands as possible. And you can help me do that by just giving it away to, posting it, you know. Yesterday I did a 4-hour webinar where I was helping a lot of people start making that transition from chat to code, and then also to kind of explain a lot of like the concepts and the instruction behind the manifesto. So with that all said, the link didn't show up. All right, so hold on a second. I can do this real quick. So bear with me 1 second here. I'm going to take a screenshot of the address here, and I think I can put it on my screen. So 1 sec here. Here we go. Hopefully it's not backwards. It is. So hold on. Let's do this. All right, hold on. Where is it? Never. No. All right. Hold on. Is that? I think it's backwards, isn't it? Right? Is it backwards? And I don't think I can. I don't think I can change it. That's a bummer. Yeah. All right. Cool. Oh, it's fine. Really? Is it backwards in what you're seeing, or is it like, just out of curiosity? Oh yeah, QR code would be probably better. Maybe for tomorrow, QR code would be ideal. Cool. All right. So does anyone have, like, first of all, I'm just curious, and there's nothing to be embarrassed by, right? Like, if you're still using chat, it doesn't matter if it's Claude or ChatGPT or, Manus or any of them, how many of you are, if you're using chat, type in chat. If you're using any kind of code base like Codex, Claude Code, et cetera, type in code. I'm just curious, how many of you are still using chat versus how many of you are using code? Yeah, the video feed is backwards. Okay, cool. Chat. Okay, Michelle. Michelle is on chat. All right. Oscar's on both. Claude Coding Codex. Cool. Chat. Okay. So Dante, we got to get you off chat, my friend. And Michelle also. And if you're using a desktop app, then it's just a tab over, and that tab over makes a world of difference because it starts to reset the relationship between who's actually carrying the work and who's not. And what I mean by that is like when you're using a chat window, you're still bringing stuff in and out of it. You're taking stuff from it. Whereas like when you're using code, it's like wired in. Now you can use a chat box wired in, but it's still not very useful and it doesn't do a lot. So, all right. So my hope is that now that you guys know that this is what I plan on doing every day, that you bring me certain problems that you have that you'd like to see me build a solution for. And while I would love to start that today, if there's not a clear problem, I'm not going to just just do it for doing it purposes. But that's what I want to do. I want to fix and solve problems with my AI and really show you what's possible. And I think it's much easier for you to learn by watching people build than just a bunch of instruction, right? And so I want to do that for you. In addition to that, I spoke to my team earlier this morning. And for those of you that are on chat that, I don't know, have any kind of reluctance to get the code, I talked to my team about this, and I wouldn't say that it's going to start next week. It probably won't, but it might start in 2 weeks from now. I think we might put on like 2 sessions a week for free to the public, like to go from chat to code. And the reason we would do that is my recognition that really the manifesto is kind of worthless if you stay in chat. And therefore, I'm totally fine spending my own money educating people to make that shift, because I know once they make that shift, they will notice how much their life changes. And because they notice how much their life changes, they will then more than likely want to actually learn more and do more. And so, with that stated, I really would love this to be much more of a dialogue than a monologue. And so, because of that, I am really hoping that you guys stay active in the chat, whether it is bringing me your problems that you'd like me to solve, or just telling me your feedback on the manifesto, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, what you're confused about it, what made sense. You name it, I'm here. This is all in an effort to support it. So I am at your disposal. And in addition to that, one other thing I just want to share is that if I've impacted you at all, and you would like to extend some gratitude towards me, the thing that you could most do that would be helpful to me is to share the manifesto. And I don't want you to share it if you haven't read it, because I think you'll be very eager to share it once you have read it. So that's kind of the idea. Like I poured blood, sweat, and tears for 3 months into a document. And if you put it into AI and ask, like, who writes about this kind of topic, it'll tell you nobody. There's very few people that I took like what's common in 4 different markets and brought them all together. And that should also be a lesson for some of you, like to understand that I'm practicing what I'm preaching. I recognize where the world is going. I am trying to create a new category. And in order to create that new category, I've written a free report. I am now taking time to support that free report. I am taking resources from my company and my team to do trainings to get people to a place where they can appreciate the report. And why would I do all that? Because new categories don't come around that often. And if you want to be relevant in the next decade or 2 decades, you better be known in a category, because that's how people are going to find you in AI. AI knows a lot about Rich Schefren, but I'm not the answer to very many things today. If you go in and you go to ChatGPT and say, who are the best coaches in internet marketing? 2 of the 3 people that it lists are going to be people that I coached. And then if you ask it, like, well, what about Rich Schefren? If you're like, oh yeah, Rich Schefren, he's like the guru of the gurus. Like, yeah, like, but he's not really, wouldn't come up right now. And I can't expect anyone to ask AI that. So my point is that we all know that search engines are disappearing over time, that it's going to be taken up by AI. And there's certainly AEO kind of like ideas and things so that you can get more present in AI. But at the end of the day, AI is going to do what's best for the person that it's talking to. And if you're not like creating a new category where your opinion really matters, where you really are like someone worth listening to, then the odds of being able to trick anything at a time of AGI is going to be close to 0. So you better have a place that you call home on the internet, and have that place have you as one of the recognized names, or you are going to be invisible when AI is fully, truly here and the whole world uses it. Most people still don't use AI, but when they do, if you don't deserve attention, you will not get attention. So what is it that you do right now that makes you deserve attention? And look what I'm trying to do to earn attention. Taking 3 months to write a report with some breakthrough ideas on it, doing a live stream daily to support it, rolling up a lot of the resources of my team. And so, like, there is nothing here that, like I've said, that should make you scratch your head and be like, I wonder why he would do that. And yet at the same time, right, I often get questions from coaching clients, et cetera, like, how do I get some attention? Like, there's an easy way. Like, I didn't write a report 20 years ago or 19 years ago called the Attention Age Doctrine 1 and 2, talking about how attention was going to become the scarcest commodity online. And at the end of the day, the amount of attention that you get dictates the income that you get. So what is it that you do that makes you worthy of attention? So what I'm doing here, right, is the best idea that I can think of. What I think is worthy of your attention is me taking the biggest challenges that peers of yours or that you are experiencing and showing you how to solve them every day here for a half an hour. So that's why I'm here, right? So I'll answer a quick question. I'm happy to answer questions. Let's see, there we go. Should my memory be stored locally or on an LLM of preference? You always want your own memory. Now, having said that, right, some of the new desktop apps have amazing features. So the Codex desktop app has amazing features. And so for the last, I'd say, month or so, I've been recommending to all my clients, download the Codex app and use the Codex app in addition to everything else. Now, when I run Codex on the desktop app, it's still running through my entire system. It still operates the same exact way as when I'm operating in Obsidian or Claude Code or anything else, because that's how my system works. But if you don't own your memory, then you are locked into one AI, and that's a real problem. I run all AIs all the time. Right now, I'm in a fight with Anthropic, so I'm not using their API. I still have my subscription, and I'm using that, but then I switched everything to the Codex API. And if my whole memory and everything was tied to one system, I wouldn't be able to do that. So memory is a very important asset that you own. Now, there's no problem in leveraging the memory systems of all the other LLM platforms, but when you leverage it, you want it to create the memories, and then you want your system to come in and suck them into your memory. So hopefully, Daryl, that answers it. You want a totally agnostic system. When I run my system, right, let me just see if I can pull it up here. Let's just see. Do I have so let me just show this real quick. Let's see here. Can I share a screen? Yeah, let's see. Nope, cancel that. Let's see. Share screen. Window. Let's see. Looking for Obsidian. Where's Obsidian? There we go. I think hopefully that's the right one. Yep. Why don't I see it? Hold on, guys. 1 second. Let's see. Share screen. Window. I can just do the entire screen. I'm working on it. Hold on, guys. All right. Oh, well, I'll show it next time. Or actually, I can do it this way too. Hold on. I think. I will do it next time. What I wanted to now it works, of course. All right. What I wanted to show you was my system and how my system, like I can run any of the different platforms right inside my system, and I can run them all at the same time, working with each other. And that's what you want too. And that's so that you want a system that's completely agnostic onto the platform, and you want the memory stored there, and you want your whole harness like operating from there. What issues you find with Anthropic that cause you to have to dispute with Anthropic? My API got hacked, one of my APIs. And so we just have a billing dispute. That's the problem there. All right, let's see. What business or freelance service would you recommend for a middle-aged 35-year-old man? Well, Jacob, it really depends what you're passionate about, what your strengths are, like how you think, where you might have an advantage. Like, there is no right business for everyone. And the real question is that you have a limited amount of time to figure out, like, how is it that you provide value? People trade money for things that are worth more than the money to them, right? That's the basic exchange, right? So the question is, how can you get a lot of people to give you money? give them something of value. Well, what is it that you can what is it that you can create? What is it that you have? What skills have you developed that allow you to create value? And I know that might sound philosophical or deep thinking, but that's the truth, right? Like, that's how life works. I think, let me end with this today, and then we'll be here tomorrow, and then hopefully some of you guys will bring some cool things to build. And if you don't, I'm going to bring cool things to build. So either way, tomorrow at noon, same place, same channel, I will be building. But let me just let's just have a heart-to-heart talk for a few minutes here. I think that too many people, especially in our space, are looking, and I don't think that, and no one, this isn't profound or anything, are looking for shortcuts. They're trying to figure out some easy way to get lots of eyeballs on their site, or, get lots of applications in their coaching funnel, or whatever it is that they're really trying to get. And they kind of like get into this marketing mode where they're not really clear that there's another human being on the other side. And so it's not a human being on the other side, it's a number, right? And when you start thinking in numbers, you're like, oh, how can I get 1,000 visitors? Not recognizing that's 1,000 people. And how do I get 1,000 people to take time out of their day to go to my website as the most important thing of all the things that they could decide to do at that moment, so that I could actually have eyeballs on my site? They don't ask that question. They're just like, because they don't want to really think about what's really involved in creating something of substance, in creating something that lasts. So the reason that my business has stood the test of time for the last 25 years, while I've seen countless gurus come and go, is because they treat these principles of like that business is based on as tricks that you can somehow overcome with a tactic, which you might for like a blip, but it won't be a long-term solution. You want to have a lead magnet that people read and consume and actually want to do business with you? Well, then create a lead magnet that's worth it. You want a lead magnet that actually gets passed along? Then create something that when someone reads it, they feel so much smarter than all the people that they talk to, that they feel the need to share it, not because they like you, not because they give a shit about you, but because they care about themselves, they care how their peers see them, and they want to have valuable conversations with their peers. And now you've educated them so they feel superior. They're happy to share that feeling of superiority. At the same time, share your lead magnet. You want more people to know that your lead magnet is there, even though I have a list that's in 6 figures, right? Like, I am here putting in the work. And do I consider it work? I don't, because I'm in the right niche for me. Because, like, as I was talking about this last night on a call, right? And I think I once came across it in a book called Passion to Profit. And it was talking about what are the conversations that if they were going on around you, you would have a hard time not butting in because you have strong opinions about it. So for me, like, that would be around AI and running your business in AI and using AI in your business to grow your business. And if I heard someone talking about that right next to me, I couldn't help myself. I'd have to butt in. It's the same reason I'm here right now. This is not work. This is easy for me. I love talking about this, and I love teaching this, and I love solving problems, which is what will happen tomorrow. And I love seeing people's like eyes light up and figure out, holy shit, the only thing that's really stopping me is my imagination. I don't need to know how to do anything anymore if I can prompt correctly and I have the right harness. And when that happens, like, life changes. And remember, I'm saying this, and we're not on a webinar, and I'm not leading you to a buy button, and I have no, like, there's no buy button below here. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm trying to sell you on the idea that everything that you've ever heard about the fundamentals of marketing are true. And instead of trying to psych your way around them or figure, and I'm not talking to anyone specific here, I'm just talking to our market. Instead of figuring out some little trick that maybe you get around it for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, why not do it the right way? And so what I believe is the right way is this way, to back up what you're saying, because I don't believe there can be a guru in AI. So the guru to the gurus, right? So that's what a lot of people know me as, is saying there can't be a guru in AI because nobody can know everything. And the only thing that there is in AI is someone who's been there, who's a little bit ahead of you, or maybe a lot of ahead of you, but nobody knows everything. There is not a single person that knows everything. So what is a harness? Sean asked. And so I will share that. But Sean, if you haven't read the manifesto, please do, because I spend a lot of time talking about a harness. You can find, so like it's the second fix, so I'll talk about a harness, but real quick, let me just talk about the manifesto, not to give you a summary of it. There are 3 waves or 3 sections of the manifesto. The first section is everything that people are not doing right now that are preventing them from making money in AI right now. So the first wave are the things that are separating you and everyone else from making money with AI. And I know what those things are because in our high ticket programs, we get people making money with AI really fast. So there are 3 fixes, and I go over those 3 fixes in the first wave. The second wave is what you need to do with AI to make it even better, to have a bigger advantage today, but that will be the only advantage in the future. So you must build this thing called an imprint, and that would reside in your harness. And the harness is fix number 2 from section 1. So section 1 are the 3 fixes. Section 2 or wave 2 is the imprint and this other tool, Atlas. These 2 tools that I made that I'm giving away to the world for free. They're both available on GitHub. And that's a layer of memory that does not exist on any other system right now. And the imprint plugs into Hermes, it plugs into OpenClaw, it plugs into GBrain. So it plugs into all the other memory systems because, like I said, it doesn't exist. And then the last wave is understanding that AI takes you to a future and you either define that future or you get to the future you're already headed to faster. So those are the 3 turns or waves of the manifesto. The harness is the second fix. And the harness is what attaches your AI model to the outside world and allows it to do everything that it can do. So the harness is my memory system, all the scripts and hooks and all the code that allows my system to do all the things that it can do. Like, watch, takes a picture of every screen. I have 5 screens in front of me on this computer. I have this tool called ScreenPipe. ScreenPipe takes a picture of every one of the 5 screens every second, OCRs it, and keeps track of what I'm working on at all times. Every new conversation that I start with any AI, whether it's Codex or Claude Code or Manus or Gemini, there's an injection right at the beginning before I even say anything that explains who I am, what I've been working on the last 2 weeks, what I spent the last week on, what I spent the last 3 days on, what I spent the last day on in more detail, so that every time I'm talking to an AI, it's very familiar with everything that that I'm working on, that I'm doing, and what I'm ultimately after. So this will be the last question that I'll answer right now, and then we'll call it a day. But please come back tomorrow and please tell me like a problem that you have and let me build the solution. So the easiest thing to do, Mahatma, is to ask your system. Tell your system that you want to take as many things that are non-deterministic and make it deterministic. You want to replace whatever skills can be replaced with hooks and injections you want to, and that it should now scan your system and identify all the opportunities for hooks and injections that would make your system more stable, make it more efficient, use less tokens, and make it more reliable. And if you ask Mahatma your AI that, it will give you the answer and it will tell you what things you should start turning into hooks. So that's how we'll wrap today. I said we'll do like a half an hour each day. I'm going to try and do my best to stick to it. As today's day one, anyone who knows anything and has worked with me or bought any of my products knows I have no problem making the first day the shitty day. Like, I just need to get started. And now that I've started, tomorrow will be better, and the next day will be better, and the next day will be better after that. I don't know that I'll always be doing it here, like live. I might be doing it in Baltimore. I know I'm going up to Agora, I believe next week, to train their executive team on AI. So maybe I'll beam in some stuff of like what I'm covering there, like next week. And but please, 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 I spent 3 months on the manifesto. It's not some cleverly designed sales letter disguised as a report. It is 3 months of a crazy amount of research pulling in from disparate areas to kind of explain to you where AI is going, where it is currently, and what you must do if you want to have an advantage in the future. I worked extremely hard on it. I am very proud of it, just like I am very proud of all the reports I've ever written. I hate writing them. It is 3 months of living agony for me. I am not a writer at the end of the day. And yet I've made the most amount of money. I've gotten the most amount of fame and the most amount of recognition from the stuff I write. So I hate writing and I love to have written. But if you haven't read it, make the time to read it, or make the time to load it into your AI and have it summarize it to you. The message in there is too important. I wouldn't have taken 3 months of my time on it if I didn't think it was that important. There's a reason why I haven't written a report in 20 years. And there's a reason why I wrote this report. And I really believe that what I laid down in this report will be as premonition as I was in 2006 when I told people they had to start pivoting towards a business, and in 2007 when I told people that attention was going to become the scarcest commodity online. You know, when people ask me what report am I most proud of, I tell people often that the report I'm most proud of is the attention age doctrine 2. And the reason why is how many things I called correctly. I called the rise of social media, the attention scarcity problem, all of it. And I believe that this report is better than that. And I also have, you know, what the draft that's out there right now is over draft 50. And there's more than 50 drafts because some drafts went from like, you know, draft 47.1, 47.2, 47.3. There are over 100 pages I took out that are really good, just so that it wasn't a book. So I'm also going to be publishing to Substack a lot of the stuff that I just couldn't put in the book, in the report, because it would have made it too big and too fat and too much to get through. But yeah, so I will see everyone tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern, right? Weekdays, noon Eastern, 30 minutes, right? It's the AI Business Manifesto Live. That's what we're calling it, at least for now. We might call it the AI Strategist by Rich Sheffrin Live. Who knows? Like I said, we've got a lot of kinks to work out on this, but like I imagine each day it will get better. And now I have a strong reason to be doing these live streams. So here I am. So see you tomorrow. To Higher Profits Beyond. This is Rich Sheffrin, over and out.